Unfortunately, with both LA teams obviously being in the Western Conference, we will never see the dream final of the Clippers versus the Lakers. But that doesn't mean we can't see the dream conference finals between LeBron's team and Kawhi's team. But if they were to get that far and face off in a Western Conference final at a neutral location, how would this series turn out? Let's get into it. Welcome to Amateur Sports, everybody. Jacob Butler here talking about the possible Los Angeles showdown in this season's rendition of the NBA playoffs. Maybe a LeBron versus Kawhi series. I mean, among other phenomenal players involved in that series. But I've done a lot of playoff breakdowns, all of them concerning the Raptors so far. But shout out to Big Boy in the comment section who suggested do a Los Angeles Lakers versus Los Angeles Clippers showdown breakdown in a video just like this. If this one does well like the other Raptors ones are doing, maybe I'll continue to do some other marquee matchups that are possible in the playoffs, not concerning the Raptors, but more playoff breakdowns with the Raptors as well on the way soon. So getting into it, I think that these are the two favorites to win the NBA championship. If they were to get to the final, I think that either of these teams would be good enough to take down whoever comes out of the East. Not easily at all. It could be the Bucks or the Raptors coming out of the East. And in that scenario, it's a long and hard and grueling series, but I will just favor either of the Los Angeles teams if we get to that point. But how would they face off against each other? Right out of the gate, I like the Clippers starting five a little bit more than I like the Lakers. I mean, the Avery Bradley opt-out is a huge loss for the Los Angeles Lakers. Not just because what he brings on offense, which is decent, a nice combo guard. What he brings on defense is going to be sorely missed by the Los Angeles Lakers. And even though they may have replaced his offense in acquiring J.R. Smith and Dion Waiters, who we don't know how good they are going to be in the playoffs, but I think they'll be okay. I think they'll make up that offense left by Avery Bradley. But on the defense, they're going to need some great defense in the guard positions, and without Avery Bradley there, it gets a little bit worse. They still have Danny Green, who is a good defender, who has, though, regressed greatly on offense this season. I mean, it's no secret. Danny Green is not shooting anywhere near like himself this year. Last year, the Raptors, Danny Green shot 47% from the field and 46% from three. This season, he's shooting 42% from the field and only 38% from three. So it's still decent three-point shooting averages, but it's not as good as last year. His points have decreased a little bit. He could be a bit better. And if Danny Green is anything like he was in the playoffs for the Raptors, he is not going to be a factor on offense in any way because he was missing out on the big minutes with the Toronto Raptors last season. Like, he was not closing out games. Other than maybe a Game 4 performance in the NBA Finals, Danny Green was pretty useless in the playoffs last year. And there's no indication that he will figure it out this season because he's regressed so much over the course of the regular season. What the Lakers do have is LeBron James, arguably the greatest basketball player of all time. I think he's still the best player in the NBA, but this season, Giannis was a little bit better for this season. I think Giannis is going to be the MVP this season. LeBron, the runner-up, though I could see that flip-flop. I just think that Giannis is going to be the MVP. LeBron James, still absolutely phenomenal, leading the league in assists, almost averaging a triple-double. They also have Anthony Davis, who could be the Defensive Player of the Year. He would have my vote. And a nice rotation in the big positions of Dwight Howard and JaVale McGee. Now, even though Dwight Howard is anti-vax and a bit of an idiot, he is a decent basketball player. And the Lakers can really use their size to their advantage because the Clippers are probably going to be closing out games with Montrezl Harrell at the 5 spot. And Montrezl Harrell is undersized for his position. They also have Zubac, but Zubac doesn't close out games often, but if they want to combat the Lakers' bigs and they need both of those guys on the floors, Zubac isn't as good of a defender. So guys like Dwight Howard and JaVale McGee can get theirs on a guy like Zubac. It's hard to really analyze a series like this when both teams are so evenly matched, but the Clippers, like I said, they had the better starting five. I think that they're going to start with Patrick Beverley, Paul George, Kawhi Leonard, Marcus Morris, and Ivica Zubac. A great starting five, but what's even scarier is the five that they're going to close out the games with. I think that this five of Lou Williams, Paul George at the 2, Kawhi Leonard at the 3, and Marcus Morris at the 4, with Montrezl Harrell at the 5, is the best closing 5 in the entire NBA. That is an absolutely tenacious team on defense and an amazing team on offense as well. They are all over the court with that 5. And even if they want to close out games with Patrick Beverley at the 1, Lou Williams at the 2, Kawhi at the 3, Paul George at the 4, and Harrell at the 5, it is the exact same thing. They can go a little bit smaller, but it is just as good. There are phenomenal defenders all over that. There are guys who can get their own shots, create shots for others. It's an unbelievable closing lineup for the Clippers, and that's going to be huge in those tight playoff games, especially in a series against the Lakers where maybe every game is going to go down to the wire. You have this phenomenal closing lineup with such tremendous defense and great offensive weapons. Now, the Lakers obviously have their own offensive weapons, but I feel like the Clippers have a little bit more to offer on offense. Lou Williams, Kawhi Leonard, and Paul George are all phenomenal scorers of the basketball. The Lakers have LeBron James, who is the best scorer of the basketball in the series, and they also have Anthony Davis, who is phenomenal in his own right. But when you get past those guys, you're not looking at a lot of guys who are going to be getting a ton of points in the clutch. I'm not suggesting that this is an open shut series. I think that the Clippers are slightly favored, but this is a series that goes minimum 6 games. I'd be surprised if it didn't go 7. Kawhi Leonard has shown this season that he has the ability to really stop LeBron from being LeBron James, and you can't stop him in its entirety. LeBron James is still going to get a ton of points. He's still going to be himself. But Kawhi Leonard can kind of mitigate that LeBron James situation. The problem is the Clippers are going to struggle to guard Anthony Davis. Anthony Davis is going to be a bit of a key figure for that reason, but we've never seen Anthony Davis really progress in the playoffs. Can we fully trust Anthony Davis to be Anthony Davis when it gets to a late playoff series? I think we can, but there's that risk there of maybe him not being at his 100% capabilities. Another thing the Clippers have going for them is the fact that they have such a deep roster. I mean, you got the starting 5 that I mentioned in Patrick Beverley, Paul George, Kawhi Leonard, Marcus Morris, and Ivica Zubac. But like I said, Lou Williams off the bench, 6th man of the year. He has made the award his own. That award should be named after Lou Williams. You have Montrezl Harrell. You have Maurice Harkless. You have Landry Shamet, who is a sharpshooter. He's shooting almost 40% from 3 this season. Maybe not as good on defense, but still a big offensive weapon. JaMychal Green is not a bum. He is a decent player. Patrick Patterson isn't great, but still offers you something from the bench, and the Clippers tend to start him as well sometimes. There's also a Reggie Jackson on the bench for the Clippers, among other players. There are a lot of weapons for the Clippers coming off the bench. The Lakers are a little bit depleted when you start to go down the roster a little bit. I think that they're going to end up starting with LeBron James, Caldwell Pope, Danny Green, Anthony Davis, and JaVale McGee. On the bench, you got guys like Dwight Howard coming off, J.R. Smith, Dion Waiters, Alex Caruso, Kyle Kuzma, Markieff Morris. There are some good players there, but I favor the Clippers guys coming off the bench, like Lou Williams and Montrezl Harrell coming off the bench. The Lakers have a big threat in Kyle Kuzma coming off the bench, but he's very hit or miss in his performances this season. I don't know if we're going to ever see a real clutch Kyle Kuzma over the course of this playoff season, and I don't really trust him to be that difference maker coming off the bench, but I can trust guys like Lou Williams and Montrezl Harrell to come off the bench and be difference makers for the Clippers. Basically, whenever LeBron James isn't on the court for the Lakers, which won't be often, this guy's going to have to play probably 40 minutes a game to give the Lakers a chance in this series. You'll have Rajon Rondo, I guess, running point for the Lakers, and that doesn't sound like a fun time for the Lakers players going on without LeBron James on the court. The Clippers are probably going to have a feast when Rajon Rondo's on the court, on defense and on offense, because Rajon Rondo, though he's still decent, he needs weapons around him to be that playmaker that he has always been. However, on defense, he's going to sorely struggle guarding any guys like Lou Williams coming at him on the other end. And if Patrick Beverley is there playing defense on Rajon Rondo, there is a big problem. I think overall, the Clippers have the better starting 5 and the better bench. Though it is slight, it's going to be big. I think that the fact that they can close out the games with such phenomenal defense and offense, the Lakers just won't have as much to combat them with. I mean, the Lakers are probably going to be closing out games with LeBron James, Danny Green, maybe Kyle Kuzma, Anthony Davis, and probably Dwight Howard, but it could be JaVale McGee. Those guys are very interchangeable. Though there could be a situation where they're going small and Caldwell Pope has to be in for Kyle Kuzma. And that five going up against that tenacious final five, I'm going to call it, for the Los Angeles Clippers, I just can't see the Lakers really overcoming in that situation because LeBron with two tremendous defenders in Kawhi Leonard and Paul George doing everything they can to stop him, knowing that they can maybe leave a guy like Danny Green or Caldwell Pope open for those shots because they want to focus on LeBron. In those situations, I can't see LeBron really being able to take the game by the scruff of the neck like usual. And maybe he will in some games, but can he do it in 4 out of 7 games? I don't think so. The Clippers have the better team, and arguably they have the better coaching. For that reason, even though the Lakers have been the better team over the course of the regular season, I have to go with the Clippers in this series. They are my favorites to take the championship entirely, just because they have such a phenomenal team and a phenomenal five to close out the games. That's the biggest thing for me. When it comes down to everything, the Clippers have the five prepared to close out those tight, nitty-gritty playoff games. When it comes to a game 6 or 7, those guys I favor to close out the game, get those last little points to take you just over the line and win the series. I think Clippers win this in 7, though they could win it in 6. If it gets to 7, obviously it could go either way. I just will favor the Clippers in a very tight matchup. This is by no means an open shut case. The Clippers are going to struggle to get over the Lakers in this series, though eventually, at the end of the day, I think that they will manage to do so. Thank you so much for watching. If you are still here, let me know how you think this series is going to go. Do you think the Lakers are going to be able to do it? Do you agree with me? Do you think the Clippers are going to be able to win this series? And why do you think so? Let me know in the comments. Do you like the videos like this? Do you like the playoff breakdown matchups? I know you guys have been liking the ones concerning the Raptors, but how about ones concerning other teams that are not including the Raptors? We'll see more Raptors ones on the way soon, but maybe some more concerning the Lakers or the Clippers as well. Let me know in the comments down below. But thank you for watching. If you are still here, please like the video if you like, and subscribe to Amateur Sports for more NBA and Raptors content just like this. As well, hit that notification bell because we post 4 times a week on the channel. Back in the routine after missing Saturday, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday. At the end of the day, believe what I say, and if you disagree, that's okay. See you again next time.